Welcome back, everyone, to another Foreign Film Friday. I hope you all liked the intro. I have a second version that I can't wait to share next week. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about the little zombie film that could in One Cut of the Dead. This film is phenomenal, and I think everyone should check it out blindly like I and many others did, which means if you haven't seen it, get out of here now, because it's spoiler time, baby! With that out of the way, this film was a huge surprise. To add a little bit of context, I thought this was going to be mostly a straight horror film, which led to a huge shock after the first act. Don't get me wrong, the first 30 minutes of this film are really fun, but I wasn't exactly captivated by the fake ending. Then it fades to credits, setting the scene for our young director receiving the job we've just seen. This is truly where the fun begins, as this is brilliant storytelling. Not only does it tonally completely shift to a down-on-his-luck director receiving an impossible task, but it also sets up all the problems of creating this impossible low-budget film. Having this hodgepodge of a cast creates each one of their problems that create for amazing payoffs in the events we just saw. Which is where the film thrives for me. Not only does it excuse the flaws in the first act, it makes them shining moments. I remember thinking to myself, man, she sure is running long on this screaming, which is literally addressed in the film. I couldn't have imagined this film being so ahead of me. It's something that I found genuinely impressive. After the first initial run, I wasn't too invested in anything. But during the final moments of nailing the crane shot, I was on the edge of my seat with excitement for them to actually pull this off. It's a brilliant use of humor, but even more so, it creates a feel-good atmosphere, which are some of my favorite films. In a lot of ways, this film is mirroring the exact creativity that I'm sure went into this low-budget movie magic filmmaking. Also, it's notable to mention the director Shinichiro Uda's only feature before this was 6 years prior with his debut Rice and Boobs, a film about which you would choose if the other had to disappear forever, which I definitely want to try to check out now, but I'm not too hopeful as it's been seen by a whopping 18 people on IMDb. Also, it was pretty difficult to find interviews on this film. Most were either in Japanese with no subtitles, or the subtitles were in a language other than English or Spanish. Luckily, I did end up finding an interview with Uda, and this guy's a really interesting character. Not only was he not prepared for the huge success of this film,
本当にここまでになるとは、夢にも想像にも思ってなかったです。
but he also could care less about the zombie genre.
ゾンビ映画が一番好きなわけではないです。ゾンビ映画の今後はどうなりますかとか聞かれる時あるんですけど、いやそれは知らんわと思って
Which I find fascinating. This is something I always applaud is when filmmakers take on projects that wouldn't usually be in their wheelhouse, which is why I would be pumped for an Ari Aster comedy. Additionally, I completely agree with how he views how this film gets its heart.
キメント部分が絶対にこう出てくると思ったんですね。実際にいたら困ったやつらなんだけど、その映画の中で見るとすごい全員を好きになるみたいな奇跡の映画だなと思ってます。
This is made so evident in the film that this ragtag group is trying their best to make a studio one-shot zombie flick, and as mentioned, you can't help but to root for them. There's actually this film that came out in the 90s that is very similar thematically called Living in Oblivion. I'd highly recommend it as it's a really good companion piece to this low-budget filmmaking genre, It also stars the greatest actor of all time in Steve Buscemi, so what more do I have to tell you for you to check it out?
どっかで信じてたところはあって、映画の力を。
That's going to wrap it up for another Foreign Film Friday. I know this one was a little bit shorter than some of the other videos, but I wasn't really planning to do an essay on this video. I was just recommended it and felt the huge urge to talk about it. Share your thoughts of One Cut of the Dead. I'm super interested to see how others sort of came to this film, as maybe they had similar circumstances to me. Also, if there's a particular topic you want us to cover on Foreign Film Friday, whether it be films in particular or a director, cinematographer, editor, feel free to let us know in the comments below. I have a list that I keep on Letterboxd, and I'd love to add your recommendations to it. Make sure to subscribe to see when the next one of these in the series are posted. Also, feel free to check out the rest of the Foreign Film Friday videos that will come up on screen right now.